Hey there, everyone. Thank you for downloading and listening to MiniSode 93.5 of the Dependent Independent podcast. I'm your host, Nick G., and this is a 200-episode podcast about making connections, looking back while moving forward. In these episodes, minisodes, I pick a topic or I'm joined with a co-host, and we pick a topic so we can share stories and experiences about that topic, and hopefully we and you listening at home can learn something to continue to move forward. Now, I am doing a quick impromptu Facebook Live and recording this minisode very, very close to the premiere of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If you guys are listening and you guys are big fans of that show, it's an awesome show. The premiere's tonight at 10 o'clock. We are recording this live from the Dependent Independent Podcast Studios. I tried to record this show earlier. It didn't work out, and I thought, screw it. If I'm going to do it again, I might as well put it on camera. So this is a video that we'll be posting on our YouTube channel at the Dependent Independent Podcast YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook at the same name, or check us out, or check me out. I have a habit of always doing that, man, the proverbial we, but I'll keep doing it at Dependent_Nick on Instagram or Twitter. Now, this is a mini-sode, so I'm going to keep it real brief because I have so much to prepare for at the end of this week. Now, at the end of this week, I am speaking for my second time at the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference. If you're a veteran of the show, you've heard me talk about this conference. It's a local conference, very intimate conference that's run by Joe Pardo. He's an amazing podcaster and organizer and business person. Super Joe Pardo, his name is, and he organizes this. I'm so happy I came across it, and the fact that now, to me, it's an annual thing. I'm going to be able to see all these friends that are actually coming up and coming down from up north and up south, coming to the conference. These are folks that I've had on my show, I've had on my show. I'm very, very excited. And today I actually sent Joe Pardo, of course I did. I sent him my final presentation, my 21-page PowerPoint, to be able to present on the big screen. So when I speak at like 9-ish on Saturday, I'm going to be tip-top. And even though I told him what my subject was going to be about in March of this year, I didn't know what I was going to say until like 6 hours ago when I was 9 hours ago when I was having lunch. But I'm very excited. Joe, if you're listening to this, I appreciate all your encouragement and the opportunity to be able to speak at the conference. Now, I wanted to keep this short because the last podcast I did that everyone listened to last week, I appreciate the feedback I got too. My shows post every Thursday at 9 a.m., so make sure you hit the subscribe button, especially if you're new to the show. Go back and listen to old episodes, which is a lot of fun because you get to hear all the stories and experiences that got us here. And that way at 9 o'clock when it posts, it hits your podcast feed. So real quick, this is what I wanted to talk about. In the last episode, I talked about some things I learned on this recent Alaskan cruise that I took, which was life-changing. And it's weird that people take, vacations, and it's a great way to get away from everything, but truly life-changing. I came back completely rested and invigorated and ready to attack the next part of my life and attack the conference and get back to work and everything like that. But the one thing I wanted to pass on, which I didn't really talk about, is this mantra, this thing that I started telling myself that is extremely important that I remember. Plus, I'm also reading this brand new book. I'll tell you about this book that I'm reading. But I'm a likable guy, I guess, right? People want to talk to me. I like listening to other people. I like understanding other people. I like understanding just as much as I'm authentic here. I like understanding the authenticity of people that are on the show or people that I meet in person and fans of the show and people that connect with me on Facebook and social media and all that stuff because of the show, and people in my community too. And I was told once that I'm fairly naive, but in a positive sort of way. I might have mentioned that on the show before. Not that it's naive in the sense that I have zero common sense and I'm just like, yuck, everything's great. But I always strive, and I'm an optimist, I always strive to find the positives in everything. Because there was a part of my life where all I looked at is the negative part, and I saw how horrible that was a time suck and an energy suck that I didn't want to happen again in my life. So, I've decided to push things away or push all the negative out so I can let all the positive in. And I think people like that about me. Because of that, I seem to get along with a lot of people. And because I try to find the positives in everybody, I am able to approach anybody with a sense of comfort and calm and be able to talk to anybody about anything. I mean, I love the fact that if someone is not liked, I love the fact of trying to get them to like me. Maybe that's weird. Let me take that back. It makes me sound narcissistic and stupid, but I always try to be, or they say they can't, they're not friendly with anybody. I'm curious to see if I can actually win them over. I guess that's what I meant to say. So because I'm approachable, people like talking about me, and sometimes when people talk to me, they talk about other people. And because of the fact that I'm friendly with other people, it seems that people like to bring you to their side. People like allies, especially misery breeds company. If people feel that certain people aren't, if they don't like certain people, they want to make sure that other people don't like them either. And I'm the opposite. Like, I like people. There's not a lot of people I don't like, and I can get along with people that I don't like or don't prefer. I guess I use the word don't prefer. So prior to me going on vacation, I used to have the habit of making excuses for people. Those people, right? I would make excuses for people that always said the worst shit about people, or did things that weren't acceptable or appropriate or rude or not nice, basically. So people who didn't give a shit, I would always try to find the positive in them. That if someone approached me and tried to tell me that person was an asshole, I would say, yeah, they're an asshole, but they're really nice because they do this, or they're really nice because they do that. And you should see them this way. And I found myself doing that to a point where I was actually having a conversation with someone, and the person had a horrible experience with somebody. And because I knew that person, the first thing I did was provide an excuse and say, well, that's the experience you had, but if you get to know that person a little bit better, you're going to have this type of experience. And the person's response back to me was, why does everyone make excuses for that person? And it wasn't just me, it was everybody. I could see you say, why are you making the excuse for that person? But when she said everyone, suddenly I was lumped into all these people that are trying to defend this person who obviously no one should be defending. Because in reality, the person was kind of an asshole. Like, the person's not nice. So I was wasting all that energy trying to convince this person that they should look positively on this person, when in essence, I don't think the person was really worth their time. So I go on vacation, I walk in a glacier, I look at mountains, I see bald eagles, I spend time away, I'm offline, all these things that are uplifting and exciting and kind of an escape, that I made a commitment. I don't know if it was on the deck of the boat or it was on the glacier. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I made a commitment that I will not make excuses for anyone anymore. I mean, I've known a lot of people in my life, and I've always seemed, just like people try to convince you that they're assholes, my rebuttal was always trying to explain to them that they're actually nice people, and there are no cynical people or malicious people, I guess, not cynical, but malicious people that wake up every day trying to make the world hate them, or doing things just to get people to not like them. And to be honest, I think I might be growing away from that naive Nick, that guy that looked at everything so positive. Not that I'm looking at things negative, but I need to spend my energy in a little bit of a different way to, number one, surround myself with more positive people and not try to defend. Not that I don't surround myself with positive people. I definitely keep a solid, strong circle. And a lot of the people that I socialize with and connect with, sometimes virtually, are part of the dependent and independent community, which is really great. But I will not make excuses for anyone anymore. And it's amazing, since I've been back from vacation, how different I approach certain people now, or even avoiding them entirely, because they reek of negativity. And I don't know, they're not asking me to defend them, but I found myself trying to no end at all. I didn't realize it added zero value at all to their situation and only sucked energy from me. So I ask you, as you watch this live, if you're watching it now, so thank you. I don't know if I'm going to keep this on there. That's always the suspense. I may or may not take it off. because we had a little behind-the-scenes stuff before I got started with the show. But if you're in an environment where you find yourself making an excuse, whether you're in a relationship that you make an excuse for a partner that's an asshole that treats you unfairly or treats you poorly or hits you or anything like that, that you find yourself defending them, that is no way to do it. That is not your responsibility at all. That's their responsibility to earn respect. It's their responsibility to leave a positive impression on the world, and there's absolutely no reason why that's your job. I mentioned earlier that I'm reading a book, and I'm actually reading this cool book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it is awesome because it I don't know if I felt this way, like made the commitment that I won't make excuses for anyone and then read the book, or I was reading the book and then came up with that. But it's really about, you only have so many fucks to give, and you really need to be very, very selective on what you choose to give fucks about. Because the moment you do that, you take responsibility for it. You can't be responsible for everything. So pick and choose what you want to give a fuck about, and trust me, you'll be much happier and a lot more of a realist rather than, I mean, I'm an optimist, but I'm much more of a realist now, though, know that there's no reason for me to defend anyone who does nothing in the world to change the way they can be viewed positively. There's no reason to do that. And I didn't get to say it on my last show. I wanted to make sure I did a quick mini-sode to let you know that. On the other note, I am going to be at Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference. If you are a podcaster, I think there's late registration. It's in Swedesboro, New Jersey, which is no more than 50 minutes from where I am right now in South Jersey, but right over the bridge from Philadelphia. It's a very intimate podcast conference. There's going to be speakers, workshops, tons of networking opportunities. A lot of people, co-hosts that have been on my show will actually be there, which is great. I love the fact that I've built these great relationships with these people through podcasting and through the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference, that I get to see them every year. It's my third time attending, but my second time speaking. I submitted my presentation to Super Joe Pardo. I'm so thankful that he again invited me to the show. And I think if you're in the area and you're willing to fork up a couple bucks for some great networking opportunities and some education opportunities as being a podcaster, you should do it. This was a mini-sode. So again, I'm going to keep it real tight, concise. This will post tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Make sure you subscribe, again, if you're new to the show, and listen to our entire back catalog. And we got episode 100. It's coming. It's going to be in December. We're going to have it at Barcade in Philadelphia. I haven't ironed out the plans totally, but it's going to be on or around the beginning of December on the pace that I'm doing the shows. There's many co-hosts that I connected with, people from my past that I'm going to have on the show. Jenna Missinelli, who was a pledge sister of mine when I pledged my fraternity. She was actually a member of my wife's sorority in college. Nicole Krause, who had a crush on me in grade school, and I never gave her the time of the day, which is so rude, and she was so nice to me, but I want her on the show to talk about crushes. Those shows are going to post very soon as I have them. I record these shows in real time anytime I make time and have an opportunity to record them, because that's why this journey is so important, because I'm able to fit all this in with my full-time job, my family, the kids playing sports, my wife. My wife's in a football draft. How crazy is that? My wife actually did a football draft tonight. I'm not into football. She's more of a man than I am, I guess, if you consider that manly. But stay tuned to the end of the football season to see how she actually does when she just randomly pick teams or pick players. You pick players, right? You don't pick teams. That's weird. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. My name is Nick G. I'm the host of the Dependent Independent Podcast. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank everyone who offered positive energy on the Facebook Live that I did this. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the show. This is MiniSode 93.5, and I am out.